Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited to have you back here with me today because today is another story time where I tell stories from every single country around the world. Today, that is country number 88, which is Armenia. So without further ado, let's dive in. Now, Armenia is a former Soviet Republic nation that exists between Europe and Asia. The country boasts incredible history as well as sweeping mountain ranges. They of course speak Armenian, and the majority of the country is Christian. Bordering countries are Georgia, Azerbaijan, Iran, and Turkey. Unfortunately, at the time of making this video, Armenia is experiencing a great deal of turmoil, and so I'd like to put a few resources in the description box below where you can educate yourself on what's going on and possibly donate to a few of the organizations I'm mentioning below as well. My heart goes out to Armenia. Now, I was in Armenia March 14th through the 16th, so 2 nights of 2016. But before we get into that, if you're considering visiting Armenia, I want to get into a few of the places that you should visit as well as restaurants. Norvernak Gorge is a place that looks incredible to visit. Now, I haven't been there myself, but it's definitely on my list to go back to and visit. It's a magnificent place to explore, and it's in the Vojvodina province. There are these captivating caves apparently that are home to these ancient winemaking utensils as well as prehistoric shoes dating back to the Chalcolithic period. And if you're into bird watching, it's also apparently a great place to go to see a variety of birds, including vultures and eagles. And there are these really cool looking walls that change colors based on the time of day. Now, as we know, there's a lot of history in Armenia, and one place that was on my list that I unfortunately didn't get to visit, but I think you should if you're going to visit, is the Ambered Fortress. It's about an hour's drive from Yerevan, like plopped amongst these incredible green hills, and it just looks so stunning. And I'm sure there's so much history to go along with it, and I'll leave that up to you to do. You know, Yerevan is a great city also to visit. I'm not a city person, but I actually had a good time walking around Yerevan because there's so much history from the Soviet area that is something you just really can't get anywhere else, of course, you know, other than Eastern Europe. There's just so much Soviet era history, and it's just really incredible to see that kind of escape in a place like Yerevan. I'm gonna name some restaurants right now that I found that look incredible, one of which I went to. Lavish restaurant in Yerevan. Now this one's a little bit more expensive, but they do have local wine and food and dumplings and local dishes as well. Another one is Tumanyan. This one got great reviews. I didn't visit this one, but it's local Armenian food and it's supposed to be really, really delicious. Akori is last one, and this is kind of more of an international barbecue restaurant. It's still kind of mid-range and is really incredible if you're looking for barbecue. Also, the setting on this one really looks divine and extremely unique and eclectic. All right guys, now I'm gonna get into my journal from Armenia. March 14th, 2016. Woke up and decided to go down to find a coffee before catching my bus, which I thought left at 4 p.m. Guys, this is a really long journal, so I might be skipping through it. It's very long, but I'm gonna try and get in as much information here as I can with the 10 or so minutes that I have. I walked around everywhere but couldn't find any place that had coffee and no cigarette smoke inside the building. I settled on this restaurant where I sat outside and had a really nice cappuccino. I then went back up on my way and stopped at this tour place just to double check about the bus schedule. On the 14th of March, I was in Georgia heading to Armenia via bus. They said that the buses leave every hour, so I decided to catch the 12 p.m. one. I quickly packed up my stuff, ate some dumplings.
And they had this huge menu to choose from, like different types of dumplings. And I don't eat meat anymore, but I chose vegetable. I think that one. And then this one is, I think, the cheese one right here. Let's try this bad boy. Pretty good.
And headed to the center of town, about a 10-minute walk away where I would haul a van. I'm not going to ignore it. I'm reading through right now and I'm talking about how disrespected I was treated by the men in Georgia. So let's skip back that because you guys know, and unfortunately it shouldn't be like this for women, but for a lot of women, this is a natural occurrence, and it was for me during my trip around the world. I didn't provoke these men. I wasn't dressed provocatively or anything. Even if I were, that shouldn't be an issue. But I don't know, men, I tend to gravitate towards men around me who treat me disrespectfully, but I don't need to go on about this because I've talked about it plenty of times now. I'm just gonna skip this part of my journal where I talk about that. At the midway stop going to Armenia from Georgia, there was this beautiful little puppy who was shivering in the cold, and I wanted to take him so badly. This little puppy was honestly gorgeous and I wanted him so bad, and I posted a picture. He was laying next to this thing of diapers, like new diapers, and I really wanted to take him, and I posted the picture on my Instagram, and I got a lot of like flack for it because people are like, why didn't you take him? Why didn't you rescue him? It's like, what am I gonna do rescuing a dog in like Georgia on this bus ride? I don't have anything but a backpack and I'm in a foreign country. I can't go home on this expedition. It's like, there were so many things that I wish I could have done that I just simply didn't have the means to do. And I did ask the store owner inside if, you know, they own this puppy, if they were helping this puppy, and they said yes. So I knew at least, you know, the puppy was being taken care of. I don't know why he was laying outside next to a pile of diapers. But the thing is in a lot of these Eastern European countries, there are a lot of homeless cats and dogs, and it's really unfortunate and sad, and it's definitely an issue. Now, a lot of these countries in Eastern Europe are kind of developing countries, so they don't necessarily have the means to help animals, like with regards to trapping and spaying. So it's kind of a little bit of an issue, and I know there's a lot of organizations that are helping out with that, so I'll try and put some in the description box below if you want to check that out as well, because this is so sad. All right, we went to the border, which was pretty unorganized, but I was really glad that we got there. It was a rainy day and cold, and the bus didn't have heating, and it was a little bit of a bummer. March 14th through the 16th, Armenia. Once we crossed the border into Armenia, we stopped at a grocery store for about 30 minutes. Apparently, it was a very popular grocery store. They have everything, and it was super fresh. Okay, again, I'm talking about the men. Maybe my mind was so much focused on how I was being treated by men that a lot of the times I wasn't actually able to focus on where I was and what I was doing because I felt so degraded. Sometimes I just feel like, unfortunately, in a lot of these countries, I was maybe too focused on the negative attention that I was getting from men, and I could have been more focused on other things, but I just feel so wronged, and I've been so wronged by men, strangers, throughout my life, that it's something that was kind of in plain sight and I couldn't really ignore as much as I wanted to. It sucks. It's kind of like I don't want to say this, but it's kind of like, think of it as a wound that is like bleeding, and you kind of have to keep covering it up and taking care of it. You can't ignore it. It's kind of like what it's like for me with men who are strangers and who are degrading me and harassing me. I can't really ignore it because it's so potent and strong and affects me so much emotionally. And I wish I could be one of those women who isn't affected by men who treats her wrongly, but I just think it's such a terrible thing in our culture with our human species that men feel that they can treat women this way, because I know I'm not alone, and it can ruin an entire experience for me in a country when it doesn't have to be that way, just if they can be respectful and like not stare and gawk and touch, you know? Okay, I'm moving on from that. I'm sorry guys, I mention this in every vlog, but this is who I am, this is what I experience, and it's just can't be ignored. I can't ignore it, and I have to talk about it, and I feel like things change if we talk about it, and if we break the stigma, and we wouldn't be so far along as women in the world, especially in America, if we didn't speak up on these issues. So if I'm speaking up on it in every vlog, maybe something will change. Maybe men in Georgia will see this and think differently, or maybe they'll raise their boys to be more respectful of women. And so anyways, that's just that. But this store, I remember it being huge, and they did have everything, and it was a really nice, huge grocery store, but they also had like furniture and that sort of stuff. I got this potato that had stuff in it, which I don't even know what it was, but the men who were cooking it were actually really nice, and they were showing me and allowed me to take a video of it. I couldn't believe how they were just throwing themselves into this cauldron of fire to make this large bread. I also got these 2 little chocolate ball things, and they were made of coconut, and then I got a coffee. I walked outside and went into this abandoned building to have my potato and my chocolate and my coffee. The chocolate was so delicious. It was incredible. And the potato was really, really good too, and hot and warm and much needed. As I ate my potato and my chocolate, I reflected on what I think men should and shouldn't do when it comes to respecting women. And I thought a lot about the Middle East. I made it to Yerevan, and I was actually excited to be here because of all the good things I've heard about Armenia. I ended up booking the DoubleTree with my points because I felt like I need a little bit of an escape and a good night's sleep. The city was dark and cold because it was winter, but I decided to book 2 nights anyways and just walk around and see what Yerevan had to offer and what I could experience. I ended up walking around and bumped into this place called the St. Gregory Illuminator Cathedral. This place was really incredible, and I'll try and put some pictures up on the screen here. I remember it being really clean and very kind of like massive with these trees that lined it, and it was really, really unique. Even though I'm not religious, I do like going to cathedrals and mosques and temples and whatnot, and just kind of seeing what it's like, because they're all so different and unique. You can really get a good taste of the culture too through their places of religion. I walked over to Yerevan Lake and headed to Monument of Gratitude, which is a historical landmark and something that the locals had recommended me to visit. It was this really unique structure, and it kind of shined bright amidst the dark sky and clouds and coldness. That's a place you might want to visit if you're going to Yerevan, is the Monument of Gratitude. I think it was really an interesting place for me to go, and I had a lot of reflection whilst there, because despite the negative things that I'd been experiencing with the men, I did have a lot to be grateful for, and I was really happy that I was able to be in a place where I was able to learn about their culture and just in the whole expedition in and of itself. I was just so grateful to where I was at, and I was actually really excited to be in Armenia, which is like between Europe and Asia, and I thought that was a really nice, interesting contrast between continents, and the amount of history there was just incredible. So I stood up and I like looked at this big thing, and I thought, wow, I can't believe how far I've come, and I can't believe the people who are supporting me on this expedition. I can't believe I'm here. I can't believe I'm in Yerevan. I can't believe I'm in Armenia, and I can't believe I got here all my own. And it was just like, it was a moment of gratitude. It sounds so cliche, but anyways, it's a place that you might want to visit. I tried to go work out in the hotel, but I just didn't feel that great. I ended up going for a little jog, even though it was cold. On my way back, I ended up going to a place called Arashi Mat. And guys, I'm actually kind of Googling how to pronounce things properly here. I ended up walking to this restaurant near the hotel. I will say that a lot of the places that I visited were sometimes around the hotel within walking distance or within short taxi distance. I forget the name of the restaurant, but it was really unique on the inside, and they had really delicious local cuisine. I loved the interior and the exterior, and it was a warm place to be and try some nice, authentic Armenian cuisine. It was a little on the expensive side, and if I can find the name of this restaurant, I'll put it up here on the screen. But yeah, I remember it being a nice warm experience amidst all of the kind of chaos that I was experiencing up until that point. Well guys, that's it for this vlog. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you are Armenian and you need help or assistance, please be sure to let us know in the comments below. Leave some links, let us know what you need. Maybe we can help out in some way and kind of join together and yes, help you guys out. So maybe my Armenian experience wasn't the best that you were expecting, but hopefully I was able to give you some suggestions of where to go and what to do, and a little bit of insight to Yerevan and Armenia. And if you have been to Armenia, let us know in the comments below. Maybe you can help others who are looking to visit Armenia. That is all for this video. I hope you enjoyed. Please be sure to like it if you liked it, and be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell to get notified when I post new videos, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.